Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm a British person, enjoying life and the food here in Monterrey, as well as, of course, the rest of Mexico as well. Now, I haven't looked at a salsa for a little while. I can't remember which was the last one I looked at, to be honest. Yeah, I must go over some of them one more time. The Del Primo range, and I like their salsas. And of course the unbranded varieties that you always come across in the local Deposito and Abarote. And with them being unlabeled, it's always potluck as to what you're going to expect. Sometimes you can get rather an interesting surprise with these unbranded salsas, but there you go. That's how it is in Mexico at times. So we're going to look at one of the salsas from Herdez, one of the big brands here in Mexico. They produce a lot of vegetable products, usually in cans, and also frozen now as well. And they make a range of salsas as well. They're kind of the competitor with La Costeña, that well-known brand that produce such great cans of chilies in vinegar and other things. And the salsa that I'm going to try from Herdez is this one. Their Tatemada and Martajada Roja. Not quite sure what Tatemada refers to. I think it's the way of making a salsa. I'll find out and tell you at the end. But, it says at the bottom, Picor Alto, which means this is going to be a hot salsa. Let's find out, shall we? Contrary to popular belief, nachos and tortilla chips are not generally found here in Mexico. We call them totopos, and occasionally you'll find totopos in many stores, but generally people, when they are just trying salsa as a dip, etc., will go for tostadas. And here is a bag of tostadas. There are many brands of tostada that you can come across when you go to the supermarket there. You're just confronted with this great array of tostadas. But I was down the Deposito, not the one I normally go to, and they had these ones, which look very much revolutionary, called Artillera. And I love small brands. I don't know where these come from. Probably somewhere here in Guadalupe. What does it say? Oh yeah, they're from Monterrey. And they're in Colonia Niño Artillero in Monterrey. So, yeah, a very local brand. And I love trying local brands. These have sesame seeds, ajonjolí. But I do like that label. It's rather like early Mexican art from the time of the Revolution. And many women were part of the revolutionary force during that period. I can't remember some of the characters. I think there was a lady by the name of Dominguez, which is one of the names of the streets a little further down. Well, the street changes its name, but Don't quote me on that. I may not be completely au fait with what happened during the revolution, but I must learn a little more about what happened. So let's open the jar, the bottle. There's, as you can see, there's quite a nice and dark salsa. Has a lovely smell. Oh, makes your mouth water as well. Smells like this is going to be a hot one, I think. And here is the medium on which I'm going to be trying the salsa. There. So look, these have a gorgeous smell. Oh, very nice toasted aroma. And rather like biscuits, cookies. You get the first two in the bag are broken. What is it with people who pack things onto shelves, especially with biscuits? You never find a packet of biscuits, and also packets of tostadas, that are not broken. Is there some center somewhere in the world, probably in Slough in Britain, where there is a training center for how to break biscuits, and now there's a new department, how to break tostadas. But it's always that way. You find that. You find that you can never get a complete packet of tostadas and cookies, especially from Gamesa, that have not been broken. This is one of those irritations that I find in life. I'm getting grumpy as I get older. I'm sure of it. As I said, you rarely find packets of tortilla chips here in Mexico. Well, I haven't really seen many. If you want to make tortilla chips, you just fry up some stale ones from the tortilleria that you've been to. Or, alternatively, you break a tostada into 4 pieces, and then you get a tortilla chip. There you go. Yeah. I don't really like Doritos, and those seem popular elsewhere, but they're not a Mexican invention. They are purely American, coming from PepsiCo. And you don't really see, or you don't see them quite as much here in stores. I could be wrong, but maybe Monterey does have more of an American influence, so you do see maybe some tortilla chips, but very different flavors. What is it with ranch dressing? Why are the Americans so infatuated with ranch flavor on almost everything? For me, it's nothing. I don't know why. And everybody now during the World Cup, Americans are all saying that Europeans want to take back with them ranch dressing. I don't think the French would be doing that, seeing as they have such great things as mayonnaise. But anyway, let's pour a little of the salsa on my tortilla chip. Well, my quarter tostada. Let's start off gently. It's actually quite a chunky salsa. Actually, there are big chunks of onion in that. So, Picor Alto, high spiciness. Here we go. Yeah, there's some heat in that. A little at the back of the throat. But have I become immune to hot salsa? I'm not sure. But to say this is high heat is taking things too far. Let's go for another bit. There we go. As you can see, looking a little thicker. Yeah, there's a kick at the back of the throat. But I actually find it quite sweet. It has a nice flavour. You get a nice tomatoiness, onion, of which there are nice chunky bits. I'm not quite sure which chili is in this. Maybe it's arbol. But it doesn't seem like an arbol. It doesn't have that heat. I'm surprised with that. I was expecting something much more. But that's an ordinary salsa. That is what I would call a beginner's salsa. So as I say, it definitely is a salsa for beginners. And to quote the taco stand near where I live when I first visited, and Chamis describing salsa, he said to me, "It's not hot, it's just tasty." As I illuminated and needed a fire extinguisher. But this one most definitely is not hot, it's just tasty. That is how I would describe this Herdez Tatemada and Martajada salsa, the red one. There is apparently a green one too. But let's not forget the vehicle that carries the salsa, the tostada from Artiera. It's a brand I've not come across before. There's a lovely aroma to them. You don't really smell the sesame seeds, but it's a very nice toasted kind of thing. Sometimes they can be greasy. Those are the ones made in restaurants, just fried tortilla. I normally buy Milpa Real. They're ondulados, they're wavy ones, to go with a tuna salad. But these I do like. I do love small brands. I'm very, very much a champion of small brands here in this part of the country where I live. And there are many small brands, including one that's not really that far away. I must go over there and see if they have any for sale. I must make a video of tostadas. Because tostada, the object, just means like a toast. So it's like other dehydrated fried tortilla. But the dish, a tostada de, then you're looking at things like ceviche, marlin, and other dishes, including the classic, which is just tomato, avocado, onion, salsa, etc. And they are rather wonderful indeed. I must do a little video making one, and also I must go to the local Siberia to have one of those wonderfully huge and crazy tostadas Siberias that are famous across Monterrey. Now, I said at the beginning, I'll try and find out what Tatemada and Martajada meant, because I couldn't remember at the start of the videos. But Tatemada is a process where you roast the vegetables and things, like on the comal. The comal is that hot plate that is popular in every Mexican kitchen. And martajada refers to just roughly chopping and crushing the ingredients in a molcajete. The molcajete is that wonderful volcanic rock, pestle and mortar, which really is more like molcajeteada. That's the style that it's generally known as here in Monterrey, and I guess in the rest of Mexico too. So that, in my opinion, was a beginner's salsa. This is the kind of salsa you should try when you arrive in Mexico and are not used to the hot salsas that are here in the country. So this is something to wean you into, something a little hotter that you find at many a taco stand. So this is, as my late father-in-law would have said, this is a salsa for babies. So, thank you all for watching. Bye for now. See you all very soon. Please like and subscribe from those buttons at the bottom of the screen. Leave a like, leave a comment. And if you're new to the channel, then subscribe and enjoy the various videos that I have here on David Eats Mexico. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. See you all very soon.